What's up, Womack Nostalgia? Dave here with my 2026 Grammy predictions. I'm going to go through all the big four categories here, make my picks for who will win, also talk about some genre categories as well. Let's jump right in because we got a lot of big artists to talk about this year. We're just going to start right off with the Grammy Award for Album of the Year. The nominees are Bad Bunny, Justin Bieber, Sabrina Carpenter, Clips, Tyler the Creator, Leon Thomas, Kendrick Lamar, and Lady Gaga. I think what's coolest about Album of the Year this year is no matter who wins, it'll be a first-time winner in the category. Kendrick Lamar, of course, has been nominated 4 previous times in Album of the Year, but has never won. Lady Gaga also has never won in any of the big 4 categories. If Bad Bunny was to win, it'd be the first all-Spanish nomination. If Kendrick won for GNX, it'd be only the 3rd rap album to ever win Album of the Year. Of course, same thing if Clips won. I think there's 3 key contenders here: Bad Bunny, Lady Gaga, and Kendrick Lamar. It's really hard to have a feel on where this is going to go, right? I think you can make a case for any of those. Kendrick has been such a Grammy favorite. He was actually the leader last year at the Grammys with 5 total wins off the strength of Not Like Us, in the lead up to GNX coming out after the eligibility switched over. Lady Gaga, never having won this big category, almost would feel like a kind of coronation moment, a achievement type award selection. And then Bad Bunny is just, I think, the most relevant culturally, of course, about to do the Super Bowl next month. His status as a cultural figure and in terms of people that do and do not like him as well is only increasing. It's really hard to say, and I want to say that they finally give it to Kendrick, but it feels really hard to pick against the Bad Bunny momentum. And on the other hand, if Gaga won, I think it would probably be a little bit disappointing to non-Gaga fans, despite I think obviously it's justified. I was a fan of Mayhem. I'm really torn on where to land with this category, but I think I'm going to go with Mayhem. It's just really hard to have a feel. I think this is one of the most wide open, field of contenders you'd have here. Justin Bieber, he's only won 2 Grammy Awards to his name thus far. I don't expect him to suddenly win Album of the Year. Sabrina Carpenter, I think she's a little too new to really win this here. I don't think she has quite the love of, say, a Billie Eilish, And I think Leon Thomas, that was a surprise nomination for sure. Tyler, awesome that he's here. Clips, amazing, my Album of the Year, but I don't see either of them winning. So I'm going to go with Lady Gaga. Let me know, though, where you're at with Album of the Year, because I think this one's really hard to call. Moving on to the Grammy Award for Record of the Year, the nominees are Debut Mas Photos from Bad Bunny, Abracadabra from Lady Gaga, Manchild from Sabrina Carpenter, Wildflower from Billie Eilish, Luther from Kendrick and SZA, Anxiety from Doechii, The Subway from Chappell Roan, and Apathy from Rose and Bruno Mars. Another one that I feel like there's kind of a clear top 3 here, Luther from Kendrick and SZA, Abracadabra from Gaga, and Apathy from Rose and Bruno. I don't really think Bunny's as big of a contender this time around. You cannot rule out Billie Eilish because she almost always wins when she's nominated. I think if she was to somehow win for Record of the Year, that'd be incredibly tough, and I think even the biggest Billie fan would acknowledge that when she continues to win for these random one-off singles in between album cycles, I think it takes a lot of shine away from other people. I don't need to see that happen. Bruno, if he was to win with Rose for Apathy, this would be his 4th win in Record of the Year, which would be making the first 4-time winner. Rose, of course, would be the first K-pop winner in a Big 4 category. If Kendrick wins for Luther, he'd win this for the 2nd year in a row, only the 4th time that's ever happened. He'd be the first male soloist to do so. If Apathy or Luther does win, it'd actually be the first male-female collab in Record of the Year since Gautier and Kimbra won for somebody that I used to know 13 years ago. Also, I don't want to rule out Abracadabra by any means, but I kind of have a feeling that it's Apathy this year. That song is also nominated in Song of the Year. I think it's stronger in the record category, though, which is more about the composition and the recording, and Song of the Year is about the songwriting. I think it's Apathy's moment, but I think if you're going to pick something else, I think Luther is the call, just because Kendrick and SZA, for her part, have been, again, quite strong at the Grammys. You can't rule either of them out really ever. But keep your eye on Billie. Let me know, though, where are you at with Record of the Year? What song are you pulling for in this category? Moving on to the Song of the Year category, a lot of overlap with Record of the Year. We have, once again, Bad Bunny for Debut Mas Photos, Sabrina Carpenter for Manchild, Lady Gaga for Abracadabra, Billie Eilish for Wildflower, Kendrick and SZA for Luther, Doechii for Anxiety, Rose for Apathy, and then subbing in, we have Golden from EJ and Mark Sonneblick, of course, from K-Pop Demon Hunters. Is it crazy to feel like Golden has a real chance here? Obviously, it was one of the most iconic songs of 2025. We do have recent history of a movie song winning in this category. Of course, Billie Eilish did it for What Was I Made For from Barbie just a few years ago. If Bruno was to win this, he'd be the first 3-time winner in Song of the Year, although I don't think Apate is as strong in Song of the Year as it is in Record of the Year. Now, if Apate did win Song of the Year, or if Luther won, they'd both set the new record for most co-writers on a song to win this category with 10. The previous record currently is 8. I'm going to pick Golden. And again, it feels crazy to pick that ahead of all the star power in this category right now. But it just feels like that's the moment, and it's a song that's just so popular. It is cool that there's such a diversity in this category in terms of the type of songs that have been selected here. But it feels like Golden is just the most populist pick here. Apologies to Apate, but I feel like that's where it settles. So that's what I have, Song of the Year. Let me know, though, where do you think Song of the Year is going to go? What song are you pulling for? Now moving on to the Grammy Award for Best New Artist. The nominees are Olivia Dean, Leon Thomas, Alex Warren, Cat's Eye, Lola Young, The Marias, Addison Rae, and Somber. Overall, I think it's a really compelling and strong field. I'm quite happy with the selections overall. I don't know how this isn't Leon Thomas, because he was nominated for Album of the Year with Mutt. Of course, Mutt was a massive hit. How do you nominate someone for Album of the Year and then don't let them win Best New Artist and have someone else who's been nominated less than you win? Like, I don't think that makes a lot of sense. Grammys have been known to spread the wealth. You know, if someone's nominated Album of the Year, it doesn't mean they automatically win the genre category. That has historically been the case. But it really feels like it's Leon Thomas's to lose. And I think if anyone can take it from him, of course, Alex Warren, you would think has some strength with Ordinary, but now that Ordinary didn't get nominated in the big categories, I don't really feel that way anymore. I actually think Olivia Dean and Lola Young are the strongest contenders to Thomas here, but I'm going to go with Leon Thomas. Let me know, who do you want to win Best New Artist? What do you think is going to happen? And just to touch on some genre categories real quick here. Best Pop Vocal Album, the nominees are Justin Bieber for Swag, Sabrina Carpenter, Man's Best Friend, Miley Cyrus for Something Beautiful, Lady Gaga for Mayhem, and Teddy Swims' I've Tried Everything But Therapy. Apologies to Teddy Swims and Miley for that matter. I don't think they have any chance here. It's really down to Bieber, Sabrina, and Gaga. Again, Justin Bieber, only 2 Grammy wins to his name throughout his whole career. Don't think he's going to get it here with Swag, which was a bit of a reinvention for him. I think you could make the case. But Man's Best Friend and Mayhem both nominated Album of the Year. You have to pick between those two. I would think, Swag also nominated as well, but I just don't think Bieber's quite as strong here. I think it's going to be Gaga. I think ultimately she has a pretty good night, and Sabrina won this award last year for Short and Sweet. I don't see her going back to back in the category. Let me know, though, who are you rooting for with Best Pop Vocal Album this year? And lastly, I'm going to jump into Best Rap Album. The nominees are Glorilla for Glorious, Jid for God Does Like Ugly, GNX, Kendrick Lamar, Chromacopia, Tyler the Creator, and Let God Sort 'Em Out from Clips. And of course, Tyler's Don't Doubt the Glass was nominated also in a separate non-rap category. I think, truthfully, you have 3 contenders here, the 3 albums that are also nominated for Album of the Year: GNX, Let God Sort 'Em Out, and Chromacopia. Tyler's won Grammys before. Kendrick, of course, is a completely Grammy fave here. My number 1 album of the year in 2025 was Let God Sort 'Em Out. Chromacopia and GNX were, of course, in my top 10 in 2024 when they came out at the end there. I would love to go to Clips. That would be my pick, especially given how much love has already been shown to Kendrick and Tyler. No one's calling GNX or Chromacopia like the best work of their career, but Clips with Let God Sort 'Em Out just had such a high approval rating and was clearly the story in rap in 2025. I think that would really mean a lot. I would love to see that happening. Unfortunately, I'm going to predict that Kendrick wins for GNX just because it's Kendrick. He's a force. But I really hope that it's Clips in the end. Let me know, though, who do you want to win the Grammy for Best Rap Album? Where do you see things going? Let me know. And that's going to do it for my Grammy predictions there. Again, sticking just to the main stuff here. We will react to the Grammy winners once those take place. Make sure you come back for that. And, of course, just about every album I mentioned, of course, I do a review for when it comes out and get to it really quickly. So if that's your sort of thing, you like talking about music throughout the year, stick around. And I'll see you next time. And that's going to do it for the pod this week. Next week, I'm going to catch up on a lot of stuff. Of course, in addition to reacting to the Grammys, we'll be catching up on the Oscar nominations and reviewing A Night of the Seven Kingdoms on HBO, new music from EXO and IDK and XG, the conclusion of The Night Manager Season 2 on Amazon. Some other movies are coming out like Arco. Plenty to talk about. So make sure you come back, subscribe, youtube.com/nostalgiapod, linktree.com/nostalgiapod. See links below. Get the best of 2026 Spotify playlist linked below if you want to hear the best music of the year throughout the year. Let me know what's good, leave a comment, and I'll see you next week.